Hey gamers, your depressed dad is back. Heads up, Hades 2 spoilers. I'm not starting a new save for you. Sorry. Uh, Here's a weird one for you folks. You might notice that this is going to be a story time, and yet I did not build a set for it. It is not just because I'm depressed, it is also because I probably, like, legally shouldn't build a set, or, or, you know, probably talk about any of this shit, to be honest with you, but fuck it. Heaven Strike? Give me that as epic, please. Thank you, Daddy Zeus. Anyways, where was I going with this? Yeah, you probably want to know what I'm talking about. Long story short, I had a trouble call one day for a location not that far away from my house, actually, to assist with a cable box that is not showing cable anymore. They're getting a streaming error that's basically saying, hey, we think you're pirating or trying to restream this somewhere, and that's illegal. That is a felony, which is very funny. I call the number, and I get somebody who says, oh, sorry, we just stepped out, we're heading to lunch, we'll be back around this time. And since I'm working on a business rotation, that's normal, it happens. Hello, Ares. Father of all monsters, he did get sucked something fierce. Thank you for dropping your blood. And another Ares, swag dad in my bag. But they say they'll be back after lunch, which is fine. There's a lot of local lunch spots that you can go to. I show up to the complex, the little strip mall, and I'm immediately confused because it is just a person's name instead of a business entity or anything of the sort. It's a little strange. I go up to the suite number that I'm supposed to. Yeah, let's make blades as I dash. And I don't want a heck. Wow. Thanks. Yeah, sure, I'll take Hermes. I show up, I go to the suite number, and it doesn't make any sense. It is a unlabeled door. And my brain immediately starts whirling at about 3 miles per hour. And I'm just thinking, wait a minute. A name for a business entity, an unmarked door. Huh. And then all of a sudden I hear from behind me, hey, are you the cable guy? And as I turn around in my bespoke cable guy uniform and my tool bag and my $3,000 glorified multimeter, I go, yes, hello, 'tis I, bdog, the cable guy, here to fix your ailments. And I'm looking at this guy with a vest on. It looks like he might have a class 2 or a class 3 plate in it, and a definite G19 on his hip, and I am not happy to be here anymore. I get escorted through the locked unmarked door, and the person says, hello, welcome to the DEA. My trouble call was for the Drug Enforcement Agency. If you're a new time viewer, congratulations, this doesn't happen very often. I don't get that special of stuff. Can you give me something better, Hermes? Thank you. You might have noticed there's a Silent Hill playlist on this channel. It is not right for me to be inside this agency. I'm immediately on edge, and I'm just thinking, I haven't done anything wrong. You can't pull me over. You don't have a warrant. Leave me alone, bro. But I withhold all of my thoughts and any of my findings. And I go, well, nice to know where it is, I guess. That's not in the downtown precinct. Wonderful. Show me where the problem child is, please. And I get escorted through the man trap, through the office spaces, and into a back lobby area. It's not quite a break room, it's kind of just... You know, this might be too old for some of you, but it's like the perfect place to have a fucking water cooler right there. Don't worry if you don't understand that. I will judge you very harshly for it, for not understanding. But perfect spot for a water cooler, and there's a television there. The main issue we're having is that it is decreeing that they are not at their home IP location, so they are restreaming and committing a felony, and it's technically bad, 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 no, no, no. There's not really too terribly much I can do to kind of fix things at that point, because I have to start touching their internet. But they got 2 cable modems in the back. One of them is set up for just the cable boxes. Perfect, let's figure it out. I go back into their server room. I take a quick look around. I realize, oh, that's neat, there are no cameras in here. And I don't mean that as in, oh, there's no cameras I can see in here. I mean that as in, there are legitimately no cameras in here. In fact, I needed another person that had the key to get into this room escort me into the room. And then they left me in that room. Just a random guy in a government agency server room with open access to anything I wanted there. I saw the rest of the cameras everywhere on the outskirts of the building, inside the office space, and looking over the cubicles. They had an active speaker set up so you could hear what was going on in the area as well. And, you know, it's gonna sound very suspicious when I say this, but I have a little bit of experience looking for cameras. I was a little bit of a wayward youth. Statute of limitations is a thing, and they have upped the amount needed for a felony in my state. So, don't worry about that, gamers. But we roll through. I'm very uncomfortable in this situation, because in my college days, I learned about penetration testing, and this is just... Dude, this is mint. Absolutely give me the keys to the kingdom, and I'm just gonna royally fuck up your entire day. But I am a cool, calm, and collected, rational man sometimes, and I decided, nah, we won't do anything nefarious today. I check out my cable modem. I realize that, oh cool, they're not using our Wi-Fi, they're using their own. And now the conversation gets a little awkward. I step out of the room, I go find my contact that led me in there. I say, I gotta talk to you about this. Did you have any plans on actually watching cable over the weekend? Which was a very dumb question, because it was opening week for college football, and one of their children happens to have a kid that was playing. And they had to work in the office, so they actually really wanted it to work. And I had to break their heart when I said straight to their face, I can't touch this legally. This is government property. You have to contact your IT department, whoever that may be, for the Drug Enforcement Agency. But I can't fix this, and my folks behind the scenes that are supposed to be able to help, they can't fix it either. So it's something you're gonna have to figure out either on your own, or... Do you get mobile data in here? Would they care about that? Sorry to break your heart, but they looked so confused and downtrodden that I, a regular human being, decided, no, I don't think I'm going to be touching your government internet. I think I'll just leave that to your guys, because I don't want the liability with that. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, whoopsie daisies, I accidentally did something wrong, and now all of a sudden I'm getting felony charges based on my negligence for walking in that building. When 9 times out of 10, if it was anyone else, congratulations, I just got the tip-off of a century of all the meth trailers in my neighborhood. I'm about to make a fucking killing. Stealing. I would never do anything nefarious to any people in my neighborhood. I live in a nice neighborhood. It's not a gated community by any means, but we have lawn decorations that are still there. Anyways, that's my story about how I got escorted into the Drug Enforcement Agency, had a slight panic attack, and then told them, I can't fix your fucking problems, gamer. Fuck the feds. Have a good night.